Okay, good afternoon to everyone. Good day, Philippines. Welcome to the edition of Track Talk Tuesdays here in Pinoyathletics live from the beautiful city of Budapest, Hungary, and also live on location from Italy and also from Australia. We have a special presentation afternoon or evening there in the Philippines for to interview our top Olympic bound athlete and also one of the world's best in the world of pole vault, our champion, of course, for his introductory message. And thanks, EJ Obiena. EJ, are you there? Good.
Yes, I'm here. Thank
Okay,
you very much for having me again. Maraming
okay,
salamat po.
salamat. Yeah. Mm. Salamat din sa pagpapaunlak mo sa amin, especially with your tight schedule after winning the finest, also the completing the third place in the World Athletics Diamond League. If I, yeah, so congratulations to
Thank
you.
you
And
so
with
much.
me, of course, is our level three Australian coach, track and field association, coach level three, Andrew Perry. Andrew, how are you doing, buddy?
Good. Got a bit of a good, like almost like got a bit of a sort of slight migraine from just exerting a bit too much in the gym today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But
Okay. So Andrew, you can keep the ball rolling, and then
yeah,
while I prepare the presentation, you can do the introductory words, and then I'll just let me know when we will run up the slide.
okay. So yeah, so uh, I guess in Europe it's afternoon, and in the Philippines and Australia it's evening. So mabuhay and good evening to everybody in the Philippines and anyone else watching around the world. We have Ernest Obiena back with us today. I believe this is like the fourth time we've interviewed him this year, and yeah, we're just catching up with him on his season. This is he's had his third competition of the year, and it was an online meet organised by Jim Lafferty and his team at Finest. Uh, so now if we'll get the ball rolling then.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Continue. So, okay, the results for EJ, of course, on last 1st of August, he jumped 5.50 meters, rank one in Trieste, Italy. This August 13, Monaco Diamond League, ranked number three,
No, I think he
5.70.
might have been ranked. I think he might have
Sorry.
been ranked two. August. I might have like gotten that one wrong. I think
Yeah, I got
he finished
5:45.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
5:45, 5:54. Was it 5:54 Thiago on that?
Yeah, 5:50 for Tiago on August 1. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, he was ranked behind Thiago on August
yeah,
1 with 5:45 and 5:50 for Thiago. Yeah.
yeah, and then
Yeah,
also August 17, world's finest online event, 5.60 meters, ranked number two. So yes, Andrew, continue.
Yeah, so like just for the public's information, Tiago Braz is EJ's training partner, and he's like, he's the Olympic champion in 2016. I mean, I could even say that, a surprise, an Olympic champion in 2016 because he was able to beat the favorite in the event. And, EJ has, had some good jumps against Tiago, and he was able to finish ahead of Tiago on the 14th, and Tiago finished ahead of him on the 1st and 17th. So, EJ, I just like to ask about that one. Uh, for you, like, obviously, it's of great help having an athlete of the caliber of Tiago as a training partner.
Yeah.
What is he like to? What's it like to have him as your training partner, and what's what? How has it really helped? And um, like I guess you guys push each other in training and comps and stuff. So
we have a very strange dynamics. We're like in a competition and in training, we try to kill each other. Like we just try to go after each other. We're still friends and everything. We have fun at the same time, but like we joke around. And to be honest, I like poking. I always tell like he's like a bear, like poking the bear every time. Like just hey Tiago, hey Tiago. I like to do that in training to just kind of get him going. And he does the same with me, and I think that's what makes us a really good how would say like training partner. And I really look up to him. I've been training with him since 2015, so I knew him before he was the Olympic champion, before everything kind of blew up. Same goes for me, and we're really really close friends. And every time I have a good day, he's happy for me, but at the same time when he has a good day, I'm happy for him too. And I think that's just important to understand that, hey, this is sport, this is something both we want, and we know that we're aiming for something that only one of us will probably be able to get, and it might end up between us as well. But I think it's fair to say that we are happy for each other to actually stay compete and be competitive, because we know that we push each other and we're just good friends, really really good friends.
So, EJ, is it fair to say that having Tiago there definitely has helped lift your game in terms of, where in terms of improvements and that sort of thing? Like having a training partner of that strength has been of great benefit in terms of leveling you up, and with your performances.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's not just the level of the way he votes. If you were actually watching Monaco, I don't know if it was shown there, after just 50 and 60, I mean, he was out at 60, but he was actually there with me, and he was actually giving me comments on how to actually improve and how can I actually vote the 70, this kind of things. That kind of input coming from a fellow athlete who actually knows what he's doing is a big thing. I know my coach is there, everything's there, but it's just different coming from a friend and coming from Tiago. He's like, oh yeah, you can make this bar, you just need to make some adjustments here and there, and that kind of just helps you a lot. And I do think there's the perks and disadvantages with training with a high level athlete like Tiago, but all things considered, he's such a humble guy, and that's the main reason I think we work good, and the harmony is just flowing, even if it's like in balance, of perfect balance, but we know it's working.
Do you have other strong training partners there as well, or is it mainly just you and Tiago in the group? Are there other, how many other athletes do you train with?
To be honest, right now it's just me and Tiago since March.
But before the COVID, was there more athletes in the group, or did you have a larger?
We have Chinese guys training with us, but with Vitaly's focus is mostly between me and Tiago.
So a lot of athletes who were in the group, such as the guys from China, did they return back home after the COVID? They didn't stay. Obviously, they didn't stay in Italy. Where did they go?
I mean, they got stuck in China actually, because they didn't go back here. During indoors they were competing there, because we have the Asian Championship. You remember that kind of competition. So they were stuck there, and basically there was a ban for all Chinese nationals to fly from China to any other country, basically. So that's one of the reasons why they're not here. But from what I know, they should be coming back soon. So maybe preparation for the following season, they will be here.
Okay. Yeah. So, yes. So far, among the competitions that you joined for this few weeks, what really gives you the vibe? Of course, Diamond is a very good very awesome, should we say, organization. But among the three that you competed, aside from, of course, Diamond, do you think there's something new that you learned from these three competitions that you might apply for your future events?
Definitely, I'm gonna say, of course, Monaco is once in a lifetime experience. The way it was organized, the way it was just made for athletes to actually perform well. That's why I think in Monaco, like a lot of world records have been set in that stadium. A lot of good heights have been set, because the organization is just on point. And to be honest, the next one will be the finest competition. It was the first time that I competed virtually, not knowing what the other guys are jumping. At the same time, it was a little bit different. There's no crowd. We're basically me and Tiago vaulting together. It was a little bit more different. I need to kind of find something deep inside me to dig in and find the motivation to keep vaulting and keep jumping. Just to have that kind of drive, because you don't feel the crowd. I mean, Trieste is quite a standard meet. It was a regular kind of competition. Was organized quite well as well. But I mean, I can't really complain. These competitions are top of their tier, and to be honest, I just hope that I can bring some of the information that I learned from this back to Philippines when we host competitions, because I saw a lot of improvements that we can actually do.
Yes, exactly. That is the reason why we always imply that, of course, aside from training and coaching the athletes back home, it's important that we create a very pleasing environment for our athletes to perform better. I hope that through our efforts, EJ, and part of Pinoy Athletics, we can really share our our desire to make organization of our events better. Na of course hindi lang pwede na kasi one of the important factors is really to make the athletes feel that they are really taken care of, kasi that is the main thing that we are doing competitions to showcase the talent. And then how can you showcase your talent if you're not on a situation or tough conditions? Sasabihin, I hope that would be the call that we can offer to our policymakers, na that we can really make sure that we organize events well, and it should be set that we should set a standard in order to be better, especially for our young athletes, na parang tinatanggap na lang nila as a baptism of fire yung, sorry for the term, yung tahan ng competition, when we can make sure that, or we can find ways to make it better, kahit yung pagde-deliver ng results, either manual or electronic pa man yan. But of course, it gives athletes the inspiration to be better and to have a positive attitude dun sa event. Kapag kasi
Yeah,
tough na yung event, tapos ang pangit pa nung, sorry for the term, ang pangit pa nung organization, or parang minimenos pa, kasi for the sake na matapos ka agad, parang hindi tapos hindi na magpe-perform yung atleta. So we hope
yeah,
what we are doing with Pinoy Athletics, that we can really share this glamour to make our organization of our local events better, to make
yeah.
it
Let me just add. Sorry to interrupt. Let me just add something on that too. The main reason these competitions are well organized, first thing, they have the really good funding. I'm not making excuses for our officials, but if I'm gonna to be honest, like I think what we have the budget to organize the meet, I think it's like maybe 1/5 of what Monaco actually like Monaco spends money, and that's not an excuse. Definitely there are room for improvement, but all things considered, I've been competing in like locally for a really long time, since I was like a kid, and there's some improvements. Definitely still a lot more, and I do hope, like with your efforts as well, with of our voices, that will be heard. And I do believe Patapa is open on that, and I think, I mean, they listen, and I just hope that it will be applied, and we will have the resources to actually make one, something like this, like world class. You have said, like a European level kind of competition, and that makes athletes want to compete and do their best.
exactly. And also in our experience when we are doing our events in Mindanao, when I was still there, it's also finding the right people who have the heart to really make sure that to make things better. I understand about the limitations on the budget, etc. But at least on the experience that I had in when I was still organizing, I can see really that if we can find and reach the right people who has the heart in order to do the events, I think it will be better. It's like maximizing our own resources and making sure that it will work on our existing conditions. Of course, you has a lot of resources, but at least it's really finding also the right people who has the heart and holds the aspiration to be better. Yes, Andrew.
I,
Yeah, thank you, AJ, for
yeah,
that comment.
I would say I'm going to say on a positive note, I am very appreciative of that Jim Lafferty chose, to allow Pinoyathletics to live stream his event, and we look forward to working with him in other events. I mean, I'm more than happy to help promote sport, help promote, events, get the word out there, basically inspire some more kids to take up the sport, that sort of thing. I was talking the other day with some media reporters, and they're going on about press cons with PSC and that sort of stuff. And to be honest, like, I want to focus on results and coaching now. I don't really want to have anything to do with any sports politics. I mean, people, my media friends, they're sharing stuff with me about, who's running for the presidency of this place or who's running for the presidency of the PSC, the POC. I said to them, I'm not interested in publishing that stuff anymore. All I'm interested in is coaching the technical aspects and, the athletes and being them get results. That's basically all I'm interested in now. I'm not interested in who's leading this association, who's leading that. I think for me, it's not really news. What I feel that Pinoyathletics is more about is basically about performance. Coaching aspects should be more considered. Coaching aspects should be more considered. And considering I'm doing a bit of coaching now, I want to focus on that. And also, as you said, the competitions, like organising good meets, trying to be constructive and helping, the association provide good meets and, good meets, good officiating, good promotion of meets. Like, I felt that, the thing that Jim did could be applied, especially with your meets and Mindit now. I mean, we could really, how we televised it before. I think that, televising meets is really the way to go.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Okay. While you prepare your questions for your EJ, we would like to share some of the shout outs or comments that we have. Okay. Of course, Gian Clava Abrematya Santo, wala na pang competition ngayong taon. As we mentioned, EJ has still some competitions, hopefully in Stockholm. And EJ, perhaps pwede mo sagutin yung tanong ni Gian at mo competitions that you look forward to. Of course, kahit plano.
Yeah, I mean, I'm planning to compete a couple more. To be honest, there's not a lot of competition here, even in Europe. So I'll just try to take what I can and, just have a good season. All things considered, have a good one. I think there's going to be another couple more. I'm hoping I'll be in Ostrava as well. I'm planning to do some world challenges, and hopefully I'll end the season with the Diamond League here in Rome. I mean, that's the plan, but until I get confirmed in all those competitions, until we're there, we don't know.
Yeah, of course. Okay.
No, I know EJ that like any invite he gets to a Diamond League he's going to take, because obviously I remember EJ at the start you said that you wanted to go to all of them. So
Yeah.
You probably now want to just get to as many of them as you can, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, competing at the best of the best, that's what I am here for in Europe. And I think that kind of brings the best out of me too.
Okay, of course, you have a shout out from our SEA Games
Kuya Ninoy.
Yeah, Ninoy, Coach Ninoy of Ateneo de Manila University, and also proud son of Cagayan Valley. Congratulations, EJ, the triple jumper from Cagayan, Coach Ninoy Malayag. And also greetings from Samantha Pactain Victor. Congratulations, Kuya EJ. So,
Thank you so much.
Middle distance runner from Cagayan de Oro City. Okay, so continue, Andrew.
Okay, yeah. So I've got some questions collected from Talking Chinoy, the great Talking Chinoy, and also from Moriel Carrion, better known as the Pinoy Miler. They both apologise that they cannot be here, but they've got a few questions to ask. So I'll begin off with the questions from Talking Chinoy, Stephen Newton. Okay, the first question from him is, due to the COVID, what were the constraints in your preparation leading to the meets this year?
Oof, that's so we need to go way back to March, when everything got locked down here, and we were basically forced to train on our homes. And I was lucky enough to be able to still train in some sort of space, because where I'm leaving, this is an apartment. I have no place to train, and basically I sneak out. I go to Tiago's house and train there. Considering everything, that we're supposed to have track workouts, to have like this kind of things, and we weren't able to do this for at least a solid 2 months. So I think that for sure affected everyone who went through it. Just very lucky that I was still able to kind of work around it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yes, Andrew. Do we have other? Yeah,
Well, there's
continue.
the questions from Talking Chinoy. He's got 3 questions. This is the second of 3. What's the
Okay.
feeling of representing our country on the world stage?
Just asking me that, I'm having goosebumps right now. To be honest, this is something that I just realized maybe last year. Competing outside the country means a lot to me, because there's always somewhere out there there's a Filipino, and I think it was greatly marked in my head when I competed in Naples that there's like a Philippine flag out of the blue. I just saw a Philippine flag in the stand, and like, that's not coming from us. It's not from the delegates. It's actually Filipinos in that area, and that just kind of warms your heart and makes you want to compete and makes you want to represent.
Or the Filipino bought the flag, they came along to watch you jump, or?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm just, that's something. And to be honest, in almost a lot of competitions, I competed in Padua. There's some Filipinos there. I competed in Athens. There was some Filipinos, and that just gives me a little bit of pride and joy that I'm actually representing the red, white, and blue in the world stage. And just showing, hey, we exist. There are vaulters in this country from this region, and we're someone who can actually go toe to toe with these guys.
Yes. So at least that's a good thing that as they said, everywhere in the world there should be at least one or two Filipino in every country in the world. So we're thankful to our Filipino communities, especially there in Italy, for supporting our Olympic-bound athlete EJ Obiena. Maraming salamat po. And of course, only you're here in Herbal, I will really try to find a way. But of course, given the situation that they make it as a closed shop, I must say, so I can only watch the events online. It's so disappointing. I was only informed by the volunteers committee yesterday. Sorry, Ernest, we cannot accommodate you now. So, of course, we can hope for 2021 that we're trying our best that once all the lockdowns and all the restrictions will be lighter, then we can roam around everywhere in Europe, every competition that you might consider here, leading to 2021 Tokyo Olympics. Okay, so
Thank
Andrew,
you very much,
you're welcome. Of course, that's one reason why we are here for the next 4 years to make things better.
Yeah, I'll just draw into my next question. But it's like good to see that 2 athletes I'm currently coaching are tuning into this and drawing some inspiration from EJ's feats. Yeah, like it's like it really inspires pretty much not just pole vaulters, but athletes in other events as well are pretty motivated, seeing EJ doing well. So next question from Talking to Noi, and the final question is, what would it take for you to break your current PB?
To be honest, right now I know I can break it. It's just a matter of having the right mindset, and that's what I think is my weakness at the moment. It's like just my mindset is a little bit out of whack. All things considered, I think I do perform very well under pressure, and I'm just trying to find that inner beast. So I would say that drive for me to just keep pushing for it. Same thing goes in Monaco when the bar was set at 580. I was just like, oh, am I ready for this? And that's something that I shouldn't be telling myself. I should be just so sure that I can make this far. And looking forward, moving forward, I'm putting that in my head, and that's something that I'm gonna try to work on. Technically, I'm a lot stronger. I'm a lot better as well. So it's just a matter of executing it in an official competition.
Okay, so really it's just like, I guess I'd relate it to the equivalent if you go into, say, the weights room and you're trying to lift a new weight or something, and you're basically thinking in your head. It's just basically having that, that confidence that you can, rather than, that self-doubt, that voice in your head saying, oh, this is too heavy, I can't sort of, I might not make it. It's better, like, just to have no doubts in terms of,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah, that's part of it, definitely. But it's more like how do you say? It's more of a little bit deeper than that. Just to kind of be so sure, so confident that you just execute. The problem is, in my event, it's so technical. Like you just have a little bit of hesitation, it changes everything. Just the timing of it. So
Exactly.
just need to have that.
Yeah, exactly. By the way, we are grateful to be joined by Mr. Jim Lafferty, who's already online. Mr. Jim, are you there? Sir Jim, good afternoon here from Budapest, Hungary, and good morning here in the United States. Can you
No,
hear us?
I'm in Dubai, but thank you, Ernest. Hey, hi, Andrew. Hey, EJ. EJ, it's been a
hey,
long
Hi, Sir
time. I
Jim.
haven't seen you in like 20 hours.
Yeah, it's been quite, yeah. Yeah. So as we mentioned earlier, Jim, that we are doing, of course, our track talk special edition for EJ who competed in the last Diamond League, and also for the finest pole vaulter event online, and also the event in Trieste, to wrapping things up. So perhaps you have some questions or comments on our discussion this day.
No, I think it's been great. We're very proud of EJ and the adversity that he's overcome to get to where he's at. And I don't think the average person, they look at the life of an athlete and they think it's highly glamorous and aspirational in every respect. I mean, EJ's left his country. Through this pandemic, he's been alone. With no family around and no strong support systems and he's in a foreign country in training, and his whole life is dedicated to representing his country with pride and honor. And I think it's really aspirational, and there's many people that say they want that Olympic gold medal. The majority of the world, 99.9%, they really don't want it because they're not prepared to pay the price. And the price is complete dedication and sacrifice. And I think EJ is one of those few that really wants it. And he and I have talked. I mean, when you're a casual athlete, you can have a cheat day and eat the pizza and drink the beer. But when you're going for the Olympics, there is no cheat day. There's never a cheat meal. It's 24/7 eating right and training and doing that. And I'm very proud of his dedication. And I think his assessment of himself is right on. He's strong mentally, but he's got more strength that he needs to build. And that's going to come with time. And the next year, that's the focus, so that by 2021 Tokyo, he's already one of the fastest pole vaulters in the world. He's one of the strongest. He's got the best technical coach in Vitaly Petrov. I mean, it's the mental side that we got to get really elevated, and he knows that, and he's working on it. And I've certainly seen massive progress in the last 12 months, 18 months. So it's coming, and I think he's going to be ready. And for me, he's a dark horse at Tokyo to medal, and I think everybody else needs to be watching out.
Jim, for that awesome statement coming from you, who helped a lot of our Filipino athletes for the past few years. We thank you for your services to the Philippine athletics community, and it really takes a lot of effort, mindset, and all the resources to build a champion, to build an Olympian, and really to make sure that everything is on the near perfect component in everything that we do, in order to make sure that we will aim for that Olympic medal. Andrew, your turn.
Sure. This question comes from my good friend Muriel Carey on the Pinoy Miler. It's kind of in a relation to a sort of miscommunication message from the former coach of Thailand, Boroshenko, who basically was confused because the thing is that EJ is the Asian Championship record holder. Like Boroshenko was confused that he was that in the statement, Coach Emerson was trying to say that EJ is the Asian record holder, which is not true at this point, but he is the Asian Championship record holder. This was the question, and it's a nice piece of statistics from Pinoy Miler. You are now sitting at 5th in the all-time Asian lists. 4th is Zhu of China, 582. 3rd is Tawano of Japan. 2nd is Yegorov with 590. And 1st is Popotovich with 592. Yegorov and Popotovich, both of Kazakhstan. I'm sure these are marks in your radar. My question is, do you see yourself vaulting over the top of the Asian list next year?
Well, I'm not gonna say that I'm not gonna do it, but that's something that I definitely have attempted as well. I already attempted that barring competition a couple of times. So far, no luck, but that's what I'm here for, and I really want that to be dubbed as the best Asian pole vaulter in the history. I think that's something that I should be proud of if ever I will achieve it, and that's definitely that's something that would come along the way. I'm not really focusing on it so much, but I'm just trying to focus on improving myself and just to be honest, be competitive at the world level, and I think it would come.
I've just got another question which spins off that. You just said that you've attempted, just for my perspective here, as if you've attempted 590 in training. Is that correct, or is it a bit 591, 590?
I mean, I've attempted it in training. I have attempted it as well in competition. I think twice or twice now, multiple.
How are you at the moment? Like, how far are you? Like,
I'm gonna say I'm close. I'm not gonna lie. I don't wanna. It's not like I'm being boastful or something. I respect those guys on those lists, but I know I was really close, and
so
as I said, and when
or like you're obviously not going under at 590. Are you just clipping, just clipping the bar with a foot or something, or?
Yeah, actually, I can send you the video, Andrew, if you want to see it. I can send it to you. Yeah.
Okay. Sure, that would be great.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. So some shout outs from from our audience. Okay, from Jundi Binas. Hello, boy. Okay. Yeah, Jundi of Hyper Sports of Cebu City. Mayong adlaw kaninyong tanan. Kamusta diha sa Sugbo? Pod unta maka mayo lang diha sa Cebu kay tanang mga tong mga igsuon na mo tan-aw diri sa tuwang programa athletics. Yan. So mayong hapon Jundi, and of course Andrew, your turn.
Okay. Oh, okay. So another question from Pinoy Miler. I'll just skip number 2. I'll come back to number 2. I'll go to number 3. Not many realized what fully happened in Monaco. You were able to beat the reigning Olympic gold and bronze medalists. Congratulations for that. Are you looking at participating at all the remaining Diamond League meets for 2020? I think we might have covered that. But
yeah, I mean, definitely, I want to compete in the Diamond League because that's where the big dogs are competing, and I want to compete with them. I want to, feel my grounds, and I think the best way to do that is to compete with the people who's going to be in Tokyo, and the best competitions will be the Diamond League. So at the moment, I'm waiting for Stockholm as well, but due to the restrictions and a lot of health issues, I don't know what's their criteria right now selecting athletes. From what I'm hoping, from what I know, there should be another 2, so that would be Stockholm and that would be Rome, and I think the rest wouldn't have any pole vault. Eugene has been cancelled. Paris has been cancelled. The Chinese Diamond League as well has been cancelled. So, I'm just trying to get in the most leagues, and hopefully I'll be able to compete in Stockholm and Rome.
You mentioned also Ostrava. Is this a non-Diamond League meet? Is this a World Challenge or a Grand Prix type meet? World Challenge.
That's World Athletics Continental.
I'll just let everyone know, for the public's information, Ernest Obiena not only is the only athlete from the Philippines to place at the Diamond League level, they're getting third in Monaco, but also the only one to actually qualify for that level of competition. I mean, before Eric, he was able to compete at the World Challenge meets, but that sort of World Challenge is kind of like the tear down from the Diamond League meets. I mean, the Diamond League meets are the basically the cream of the crop of world athletics.
Yes, so that is something that we should be proud of. That, of course, EJ is one as the first or the few from sports who really earn one of the top spot in the Diamond League. And then also we continue with our shout outs. Of course, June again. Hello to June D, Samantha, Ninoy, Iwa, Gian, who joined us. Andrew or Jim, further comments or anything you'd like to share?
No, I leave it with EJ, and I'll leave it with you guys.
Yeah. Okay, Andrew, your turn.
Okay, this was the last question from Pinoy Myla. Besides your dad, who else is your pole vault hero, from pole vault?
I have two in my mind. I think Sergey Bubka, definitely. He opened a lot of doors, sending me here for me back in 2014. He basically shifted my career to a better place, and I think that's something. And as an athlete, I look up to Tiago as well, because the way he approached things, and I've seen him struggle, I've seen him success, and that's something that I just admire and I look up to. So I would say those are the two pole vaulters I currently would say, pole vault heroes of mine.
Okay, also shout out from Landoy Salvatico. Great job, EJ. So we are still accommodating our comments again to the views. Again, from Ninoy, thank you as well. From Jundi, thank you as well. Andrew, any further things that you'd like to update for us?
I have a question for Jim, if he's still online with us. I have a question for Jim regarding the events.
Yeah.
So Jim, I watched pretty much the whole event. And I'm very thankful that Pinoyathletics was able to be with you on this project. We're able to live stream and get a few people interested in pole vault. You did mention there was going to be you're planning to have a women's pole vault event in the next month or so.
Yeah, I've been talking with Stacy Dragila in the U.S. to try to organize. It's a lot of the credit for this event has to go to EJ. I mean, he's the one that reached out to Tiago and Pavel Wojciechowski, and we obviously talked to Mondo Duplantis and others, and we had a number of vaulters that wrote to us that wanted to compete, but we wanted to keep it to Olympic qualifiers. But EJ was like the catalyst to help organize this thing. I don't have the same support system on the women's side. So I've been talking to Dragila to see if we can organize. I mean, it really requires what happened with the men's. We need the women to kind of get together, organize. We finalize the lists, and we get them to sign simple contracts, and we go. I'm ready to go. It's just getting we need some big names, and we need people that are Olympic qualified.
So for the women, how many women would you be looking at getting for for the women's competition? The same number, roughly?
Same number, 3 to 4. The minimum 3, maximum maybe 5. But I think you saw the challenges of changing locations and these cameras, and it was. We had a whole crew in Dubai that was working on the technical side, making this work. So it's. I think the more simple you can keep it, the better. I would say probably 4.
Am I allowed to ask what sort of prize money was at stake during this meet?
Yeah, our plan was, we wanted to help the athletes out. We wanted to help them out, and we wanted to pay above the Diamond League. Now, Diamond League was traditionally paying $10,000 for first place, so we paid $20,000 for first place. And then, but what has happened, and this is hurting the athletes, Diamond League has cut their payout to $5,000. So basically, I think it's pretty safe to say that the event that you watched last night is the most lucrative event in track and field for this year, because there's no money right now with all of the lockdown. Even Diamond League's only paying $5,000 for first place. So
in this event, the first place got 20,000. Did even down to the fourth place get money for participating?
Absolutely, everybody got a check from last night.
The
intent was to help these athletes. They all get a very good payday.
Okay.
And sorry, Jim. Again, you're planning to do this event again around the same time next year, or at some point next year?
Yeah, we'd like to. I think there's certain inherent advantages of this concept that it allows people to vault at home, to reduce their travel. I don't think a year from now the world is going to be clean from the coronavirus risk, and so I think there will still be a need for virtual events. I think we're gonna, we need to talk about it. It's only been 24 hours, but maybe if the athletes want it, we'll do another one in like Jan-Feb, with the men. We'll do it again, and if they're feeling like, let's play a scenario. Let's say there's a second wave of COVID over the fall and the flu season, and all the competitions get canceled. I think we will step up immediately to give them another competition, and even 2 more before the Olympics if they want. And the intent is to also help them financially. Even the world-class athletes are struggling financially right now, with all of their endorsers cutting budgets and a lack of competition. So, we want to help them out, and they deserve our help. And so we can do more. And let's face it, Andrew, we decided to do this a month ago. We did the whole thing in 4 weeks. It's very easy for me. If I decide in October to do one in January, that's going to be easy. Because we know what to do. We know who to call. We can pull this together in 2 weeks now.
I'll just ask as well, you did say there's a possibility of a second wave of COVID hitting. Apart from these pole vault events, would there be any possibility or any plans for other athletic type events? Pole vault's obviously, as you said before, it's sort of like you do need a pole vault pit, but in all aspects, it's sort of an easier event to run because, what was it you said? You said it was like it was an easier event to run as long as you've got a pole vault mat and poles and stuff. Versus like team sport where everybody has to be on the field at the same time.
I think again, why did we do pole vault? It's really because of EJ and our connection with EJ and working with him on his diet, and my wife Carol working with him. I think Andrew, let me tell you something. If you rang me up and said, "Look, I can get together 4 great high jumpers, and we can do a virtual," I'm ready to do it. The issue is I just don't have the tentacles to reach out into all these different events and do it. But I'm even prepared to do like a 4 guys doing the mile at 4 different locations, and we track all 4 simultaneously. I'm prepared to give it a try.
About just having the connections needed to put these things together, right?
Yeah, you need to know people, and that again, EJ, from the time we talked about it, he had Pavel committed within like 3 hours, and then we had 2. And then he talked to Tiago, and Tiago took more effort because there was other endorsers involved, like Nike and stuff. And then Pavel has the same agent as Matt Ludwig has, and so then the agent got involved, and then I talked to Mondo a couple of times, and it happened very fast. I mean, we had 3 to 4 signups like within 2 days. If you tell me now, let's do a mile, let's do a 1,500-meter run, 4 different guys in 4 different locations. My issue is I don't know who to call, to get this thing going.
Yeah, exactly. So
with the connections.
Yeah.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. I have one question to you, Jim. I know that we are thankful on how you support the Filipino athletics community for the longest time. My question is, what your next step, or how can what is your next step in supporting or being a partner of the Philippine athletics community in the future when all the pandemic situation will be over?
Yeah, but my view is, from the day I started adopting Olympian, I've never changed my viewpoints on what Philippines has to do. And it follows basically what Kenya did and Jamaica did. Step number 1 is you need to support your elite athletes, because that attracts people to the sport. I mean, Kenya had no runners until Kip Keino won the gold medal in '68. Then suddenly every kid wanted to run. And I'm telling you now, if EJ Obiena wins an Olympic medal, the entire country will take up pole vaulting, and they'll take up track and field. This is the best thing that can happen. And so your best grassroots program starts at the top. And so you support your Olympic athletes. The second thing is you pick a couple people who have Olympic potential. And at any point in time in the Philippines, there's 3 to 5 athletes who can go to the Olympic Games. And those are the ones that get disproportionate support, because some of the people on the national team, they simply don't have enough talent to make it to the Olympics. I mean, I'm sorry. I know it sounds harsh, but this is a reality. They don't have it. But there's 5 people, 6 people on that national team that can go to the Olympics. You spend on them, and you give them the support required, because the support required is getting harder and harder. These countries are spending big money to get Olympic gold medals, and they're giving people team psychologists and masseuses and sports doctors, and they've got a whole crew, and you've got to have that support system in place. And right now, it's not shocking that EJ is the only one going to the Olympics right now, and he may very well be the only one. He's the only one that has complete support, and the most of that support is not only just from the PSC and that, but it's from private, and it's from private funding, and everybody needs that. And what I want to do is I handpicked Jason Sid, I handpicked Maristela Torres, I handpicked EJ, and I say the best thing I can do for the country is to get an Olympic gold medal. That will change everything for the country and for the grassroots program. And so you start at the top and you train for the Olympics. I mean, I'm sorry to say, and
Yeah. Hello. Yes. Yes. Thank you for that insightful comment, Jim. Yes, it's right that of course when we have that Olympic gold or Olympic medal, everyone will follow. We hope this people will really come and consider better ideas and perspective towards how it takes to build an Olympian. Yeah. And your turn. Thank you, Jim. Thank you.
I believe the word we're looking for with what Jim explains is that, if he goes out and wins the Olympic gold, it's basically a catalyst for Philippine athletics. It's basically a catalyst that will just start a chain of events, which will be, in all aspects good for sport. Okay. Okay. So I've covered Muriel's questions. I've covered Stephen's questions. Regarding the competition, the online competition. I saw, EJ, there was a bit of frustration there on one of the jumps. Was that mainly due to the wind?
A little bit, yeah, but at the same time, that's not an excuse for me to not be able to make that bar. It's always hard to jump when the wind is a little bit unpredictable. It's already bad if the wind is blowing in front of your face, but what's even worse if it keeps on changing. But that's all part of the competition. That's something that I should be ready to face anytime, any part of the day. I can't be in the Olympics and say, "Oh, the wind is very strong, can't jump." And that's the worst thing I think I could I could have. So I'm just thinking, okay, the wind without wind, I should be able to jump and actually make some good bars.
So the next question is, would you say at this point of the season that Duplantis is the one who's like sort of leading at the moment? Like he's like the key of all the leading up to these Olympic Games?
You can't really say that. Like, in my opinion, it's very hard to say who's leading, who's not. Because if you look at competitions, he jumped 6 meters in Monaco, and the following competition he jumped 560. It's a totally different.
Where he jumped 560.
It's in the Swedish nationals. So
Oh, okay.
pole vaulting is a very unpredicted event. That's why consistency is something that I just try to work on, and I think that's what you want to be going in the Olympics. And you just want to keep jumping high. Like if you can jump 580 every single day, that would be good.
Did he win his nationals with 560, or did he end up behind somebody with the 560?
That I don't really know. I haven't checked on it, but I just saw the result, and there's some guys jumping like, not really sure, man. Like I basically I'm checking up on him, just checking who's jumping who. And
I might check that out later, because like usually, like if someone comes out and jumps 6, is it possible that if a few days later they can jump a bit less because they're a bit tired or something in between meets, or is it like more just about being consistent, like just like within a few days? Or
but that can happen, like you can be tired, and sometimes your body just says like, I'm shutting off today. I'm really exhausted. Like, so you can see Thiago jumped 50 in Monaco, and after in the final competition he jumped 70, and I jumped 70 in Monaco, and then I jumped 60. It's something that it's like in sprinting. You have a good start, you have a bad start, you can't change it, and that's the beauty of sport. And I think that's the thrill. That's why I said always that until the competition's done, nobody knows who's gonna win.
Yeah, because like if we look back to 2016, I mean everybody would have probably expected Lafferty to win that meet, but then Thiago surprised them all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too.
So there's always that element of surprise based on condition on the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I think that covered most. Andrew, I think on my part, I already wrapped up the basic things for EJ, and of course, we thank everyone who joined us, both online and also earlier, Jim. I think Jim already left, and then thank you again, Jim, for sharing. Okay, one moment. I think sure, of course. Thank you again, EJ, for joining. For your final words, or for our Philippine athletic community.
Oh yeah. To be honest, I just want to say thank you first to Fine. They gave us a platform to promote our event, and pole vaulting is something that I do believe is very exciting. It's just a matter of people knowing what pole vaulting is, and Fine gave us this opportunity, and we are very, very thankful for them having us. And on behalf of all the vaulters that vaulted yesterday, to everyone who watched, and we just want to say thank you very much. We wouldn't be able to do it without everyone. Each and everyone's effort made it possible.
Yeah, of course, you're most welcome. Of course, rest assured that the Philippine athletics community in the Philippine nation is in support with you. Of course, it's a very challenging to stay there and to be far with your family. Of course, everyone should someone like you should deserve all the praises and all the motivation. Andrew, thanks again, EJ.
Do we
Thank
have
you.
any questions from the viewers or not really?
I will ask them. Yes. Earlier it was Gian who about the competitions. The other are messages of support, so we can flash them again while
Okay.
we are you can while you're wrapping up because of course much of EJ's time because I know that he's still going to do some training.
Okay. So I'll just wrap. The last thing I want to mention, I'm looking at the Stockholm entries, and I can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8. 8. I think no 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, 8. There's 8 entries on the Stockholm list.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's right. They've got pictures in an avian type entries there as well. But yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I think that's all for now on our part. Again, thank you, EJ, for joining us, and then see you again next time for another edition of Track Talk with me, Ernest from the University of Physical Education, live here from Budapest, Hungary, and also Andrew Perry, live from Australia, the Athletics Australia Coaches Association Level 3 coach, saying thank you to everyone who joined us. Maraming salamat. God bless. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Ingat po tayo. Mabuhay ang atletang Pilipino. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po. Thank you very much.
I'll just mention as well, just to wrap off, that our next session will be on Saturday at around 7 p.m. In Philippine time.
Okay, yeah. So, EJ, you can you are excused on your own convenience. Salamat.
Thank you very much. Have
It's
a
like
good
class.
day, everyone. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. Okay, so we're now back, Andrew. Some announcements. We continue our broadcast. We would like to invite you to the following organized, of course, by our wonderful friend, of course, and colleague, Noli Ayo. They will be having a. Okay, one moment. Uh, yeah, so this one is an online sport leadership program batch 2, which is part of the sport directors of uh, the Philippine Olympians Association, courtesy of Akiko Thompson, of course, the athletics director of Ateneo de Davao University, Noli Ayo, with the following presenters: Freddie Webb, Carlo Brosas, Akiko Thompson, Guevara, and Mansur del Rosario. This is a paid event from September 19 to October 10. You can see the details. This is mostly for sport directors and coordinators only. So we hope that you consider joining this once in a very rare opportunity to meet Olympians and leaders in the field of sport management. And of course, they will discuss different trends in being a sport coordinator, sport director, sport manager. Turn.
Okay, when is it?
It will be on September 19 to October 10. It will be at 10, like, let me say, it's a 15 15-hour sessions.
Yeah.
So it divided into different sessions. So we hope that our
Okay.
manager sport
Yeah.
can consider that. Yeah.
Is this a paid course?
Yes, this is a paid course.
The amounts or the cost of the course is listed on the.
Yes, it's already there. So of course we cannot really broadcast that this much because there's limits, because it's only for the director of sport of schools and clubs. So it's a very
But
limited
maybe
event.
somebody like Mackie McRae, for example, would be eligible for this type of course.
Again, whom? Sorry. Yes,
Mackie would probably be eligible.
Yes.
Somebody like Mackie would be eligible for this course.
Exactly. Yeah, I'm sure.
At least a sports director of a school, right, to be able to be eligible for a
Yes.
sports coordinator. So somebody like Mackie, Giovanni, like someone who's managing a school.
Yes, exactly. Okay,
Maybe
so
Adamson.
mhm. Okay, so Andrew, do you have final words? I guess because yeah. I won't take much of your time because we have
Okay,
also stuff to
maybe
do.
we'll just wrap off with the slide for Connor Henderson.
Of
I'll
course,
just,
sure.
yep, that'll just be the last. I'll just do the update on him. Okay, so yeah, the shout out to the basicity roller Connor Henderson. He ran 54:02 for his win in the 400 hurdles on August the 17th at Loughborough in the United Kingdom. So I'm just reporting that result because that's the only athlete, the only other Filipino athlete that's sort of registered a result this weekend. Oh yeah, of course, Natalie jumped 4:11 on the 14th at the American Track League. So yeah, it's just been the results from EJ, Natalie, and Connor, and I haven't heard of any other results. I tried checking if Christina, not KK, had any results, but I wasn't able to find anything.
Yeah, exactly. So, so far, other events related to Diamond League, there will be something in Lausanne on
I saw that, yeah.
when
That's
it
after
will be.
August.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's about
Okay.
31st
So,
of August.
Stockholm, August 23, Lausanne, September, Brussels, September 4, and then as EJ mentioned, it will be some. He will be joining Rome if possible. If it won't, yeah, yeah, Rome will be on. Yeah, so well, it's loading. Yeah, so at least here in, I think Austria already is done with their athletics championships. The science the same time with Hungary athletics championships last 2 weeks ago, and also the German athletics championships. It's a bit of, yeah, it's also done in Braunschweig. So I one way or another. When the restrictions are already easing up here in Europe, so we continue, and yes, so it will be still September 17, Golden Gala, Pietro Menea for Rome this time. Okay, yeah. Continue, buddy.
No, that's all. That's all. I think that's all we got time for tonight. We've got heaps of other stuff, but that's just going to have to wait. That'll just be saved for our next session on Saturday.
Yes. Okay. So we say thank you to everyone who joined us, both online and also via Facebook and also our other channels. Again, please like and share www.pinoyathletics.info and fb.com/pinoyathletics. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you for our 23,000 strong followers and members of Filipino or Pinoy Athletics. We thank you for your support, and we always make sure that we find to ends meet to when the pandemic is over, that we will visit the Philippines in due time and share our insights to make things better for grassroots athletes who need really the motivation and inspiration to continue with the sport. Maraming salamat. God bless. And mabuhay tayong lahat. Ingat po. Mabuhay ang ating Pilipino. Mabuhay po tayong lahat. Mabuhay ang Pilipinas. God bless. 3, 2, 1.